welcome to Turtles Rising, a visual podcast. I never said visual before. A podcast where we're very excited about Rise of the TMNT. And last Friday we had reasons to be very excited again. I love this Leo.
It's good.
It's a great Leo.
We had 4 new episodes last week, and
on Friday the 15th of May 2020. 4 new episodes. And there were so many, and there was so much information, and the stream we watched did not do commercial breaks, and it was just title and title and title and title, and my brain was boom.
Yeah, it was a bit of an attack on the senses. That's for sure.
That was rough, and the episodes were wild.
We're gonna talk about the 2 of the first episodes of the 4 that dropped, and just a small disclaimer: we are definitely going to, in some way, shape, or form, review and talk about episodes that came prior to this. So if you don't want to get spoiled for episodes that come before this one in the season or in the first season and stuff, you should go watch those first. And we might also make wild guesses for future plots, which is usually my territory. And I guess those could become spoilers, even though you can't really tell.
Not yet, at least.
I'm just saying, you can't blame me. If I don't know if it's true, it can't be a spoiler.
Also,
it's a hypothesis.
If this is the first podcast you're listening to, I'm Natty.
I'm Em.
And we love titles and we love cartoons and stuff like that. Also, another disclaimer, because I always say this later when I say names of the writers or voice actors and stuff. Small disclaimer: I apologize for mispronouncing any names. I am German. I do not know how some of these names are pronounced in an English way. Please forgive me.
I apologize for nothing. I'm Icelandic and none of you can say my name, so I take the liberty of not saying yours correctly either on occasion.
That is very fair.
None of you can say my name, so that's fine.
Even I don't really attempt.
Yeah, no one, like, I show people my name, people go, yes, okay, cool, and no one even tries. So you should just give me credit for trying and not get mad at me when I don't say names right.
And again, I could say the same about my last name, because no one could pronounce my last name if you're not doing the German umlauts.
After the podcast, I'm gonna try.
Okay, fair.
This episode, Sidekick Ahoy, I think that this is a very, I don't know, like, I was excited for this episode when I, like, saw it, but at the same time, I'm just like, oh, because Jupiter Jim is such a creepy character to me.
Yep, stranger danger.
The first time we saw him in the previous Jupiter Jim episode, he had his fans paralyzed in cosplay in, like, glass cages in his apartment. And I think that's kind of just extremely creepy.
Didn't he even have a cosplayer of his sidekick?
No, I think that was actually his sidekick, though, because no one can cosplay that good.
Okay, so they're making Jupiter Jim movies again, or still?
No. These are definitely reruns because
But later in the episode, they are doing. Aren't they doing a movie? Or is the sidekick doing new movies?
It's the musical.
The musical.
It's Jupiter Jim the musical, which ironically they did not call the actual Jupiter Jim actor for. I wonder why. Probably because he's a nut job and probably can't sing.
See, this is why I think I do have ADHD, because I'm always just like watching these episodes. I do not listen to the dialogue. I just look at the funny pictures.
You just look at the colors and your pupils dilate.
Basically. But this is what you are there for. I always point out the visual bullshit, and then you point out what actually happened in the episode.
Talking about visual bullshit, this is the first part, or like the finale of the movie they're watching when the episode starts. You have like 6 seconds or 8 seconds in this case before the universe gets swallowed by a black hole. I love that they put little wooden stakes in the robot vampires.
Oh, yeah.
They just, who staked them? Was it Jupiter Jim while being tied up? I went to watch the entire movie.
And he spat them at them. He was just like, pew.
Yeah, somehow. But also the fact that when Red Fox actually enters, the there's like, oh no, the universe is gonna be destroyed. The only logical thing I can do is, and then Red Fox unties Jupiter Jim so he can push the glowy red button.
Yeah.
Which is like a thing later on in the episode. Is like, oh, sidekicks don't defuse bombs. What is this, a Lujitsu movie? Like, just let the sidekick press the big button. The universe is at stake.
Also, before I forget, episode was written by Ian Bush.
Nah, actually, according to the credits of Jupiter Jim, it was the staff writers are Ian Blastoff Butch, Bruce Cosmic Carney, Rocket Ron Cursilio, Jesse Flash Gordon.
Amazing.
I went through these frame by frame, and it would have taken forever to manage to get screenshots of all of the writers, but all of them have some sort of space theme in their names, like Supernova Suriano.
Also, there's Double Star Malinowski, who, according to the credits of this actual episode, is one of the new staff writers. It was Ian Bush, Russ Carney, Roncosillo, and Jesse Gordon before, but now Dave Malinowski is listed as one as well.
That's great. Good job, Dale Malinowski.
Thumbs up.
You did a good job. And yeah, they get so excited for this movie, and there's so many funny faces.
This is us watching Rise of the TMNT.
This is also going to be me. I'm going to be all four of them when we see the movie on Netflix. I'm just saying.
Oh my god, you just reminded me of the fact that there's gonna be a movie, and I just have to kind of cling to my chair for a minute.
Yeah, just even like, I said the thing, but my heart rate also picked up when I said it because my ears picked up on it.
What's my watch saying about my heart rate? Oh yeah, it's definitely up.
Yeah. My Fitbit says that my heart rate. Yeah, my heart rate just jumped to like 74. It was a chill 60. It was at like a chill 60 something earlier. But they're on a Jupiter Jim movie marathon, and it used to be $15, but now it's $1. Seriously, I'm pretty sure that no one is in this theater but them.
Ruff's face.
No one cares about Jupiter Jim except these four boyos.
The only movie marathon that I personally ever participated in was a Saw, a movie marathon when it was only 3 parts. Now it would be a little bit longer. But yeah, I wonder how many Jupiter Jim movies are there.
I mean, later on in the episode, he says that he saved the world for the 80th time.
Oh, okay.
So I'm guessing there are at least 79.
Yeah.
Unless he's counting random instances of himself harassing cosplayers and locking them in his apartment for display, then, maybe there's like 50. Yeah. There's definitely an absurd amount. I think they talked about like Jupiter Jim goes to the moon like 48 or something.
I love that because we now know a little bit more. I mean, not everything about Jupiter Jim, but before Jupiter Jim arrived, we were both saying things like, because we haven't reviewed the other episode yet, but we're just gonna say that here. We both said that, oh yeah, or you were like, he's gonna be a character, I can feel it in my bones and stuff like that. And we saw the poster in your favorite episode where they dress up. I always forget the title.
Which one? They dress up in a lot of
dance one.
Oh, Masked Malay.
Yes. We saw the poster with Jupiter Jim and the mutant silverfish on the wall, and we were both like, oh, is he from space? Stuff like that.
Is he really from space?
Is he actually an alien or something like that? Something's up with that, and now he's just a dude who has a bit too much of a fantasy going on.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely he's just a method actor, okay? He just got into character once and just never left. I guess when you do like 40 something movies as the same character for most of your life, you go insane. I'm just saying. I don't know if that. I at least think that's
maybe
normal.
There's a rivalry against Lujitsu or something like that. I mean, he comments on.
I mean, they definitely do have a rivalry.
Yeah.
I think that's even been established in like I mean, Splinter did get really pissed off when they were talking about like Jupiter Jim and how much they enjoyed it, and he's like, "Oh, how was the Jupiter Jim movie?" Like when they went to get his autograph in the Jupiter Jim episode. So he's definitely salty that he is not their only hero.
Yeah. Also, these boys almost got kidnapped, basically.
No, I mean, they definitely did get kidnapped. I mean, at least Leo and Mikey got kidnapped.
Yeah, and they
by
still
Jupiter
love
Jim.
Jupiter Jim so much.
It takes a lot to break their spirits, I guess. They are mutant turtle teenagers.
And again, Raph is the only one who's just like, oh, please don't.
Yeah. When they see the Jupiter Jim signal, which is just JJ over a Jupiter, like, look, they're so happy. So cute.
I love how Mikey's hugging himself.
Yeah. Donnie's so squishy all the time. I love how his antenna channel his mood.
Yeah.
Throughout this episode.
This episode has so many good faces.
Yes, there's so many faces. Then when they actually like this Mikey face.
Mikey is terrifying and hilarious.
I'm concerned for Jupiter Jim's mental health.
Same. I mean,
according to Splinter, he's always been a douchebag, though.
I mean, Red Fox says that he never thanked her.
So yeah, he's just always been a douchebag. And I also love in the previous Jupiter Jim episode when Raph actually picked up that something was weird right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
Well, his brothers are more, I don't know, like gullible when it comes to these things.
Their brains shut off.
Yeah, their brains shut up. Just like when Donnie gets excited, his IQ drops, and Leo, his IQ usually drops when he gets excited, but it's not as big of a drop. But because he has less to drop, I guess. The faces here, they're so cute. Like Donnie's blushing. They're so excited. This is when Raph is like, "You're not gonna kidnap us, are you?" And he just like steps back with his brothers. It's very cute.
Protective bro.
And then when Jupiter's just like, "Oh, how could I ever get you to forgive me?" And Leo is immediately, "You're forgiven."
Yeah, and he just glues himself to Jupiter Jim for a hug.
Yeah. And then when they want to become sidekicks, and Raph is just like, "No, you can't." And they're just like, "But fun."
I love how Mikey's visor even does the sad thing, like the visor, which is usually only just a little line. It just goes big and does the sad thing and is shiny. Fun.
But fun. This is so cute. I love this. They're all, you can just tell that they've used this on Raph on several occasions before to get him into trouble specifically. They have pulled this exact face to get him to do bullshit he shouldn't do.
Yeah.
That also in this episode, it's lovely because Donnie really does play Leo really hard throughout this episode. Basically abusing Leo's love and fanboyness for Jupiter Jim, but like, "Oh, as his biggest fan, you should definitely sit in the captain's chair," even though Leo's like, "Donnie, you can't." And I also love that here we can see that his little antenna are actually stuck like to his his goggles. Which means that if in this exact case, if you'd put the goggles down, wouldn't the things go forward?
Yeah.
That he just like have two big like front antenna like a cockroach. This is weird.
He's struggling with himself and he's like, "I shouldn't, but I know."
I mean, whenever are you gonna get the chance, Leo? It's fine.
Yeah.
I like the bleeps and the bloops here. I wonder what all these buttons are for. I don't think they're for anything. I think they're decoration.
Yeah, I would say that, but then again, the moon buggy was real.
Also, all his tack and weapons are real.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I wonder what all these buttons are for.
What does this button do?
Yeah, you accidentally fall on one of these keyboards and you blow up something in New York, and it's like, I wonder why he had this power. Also, considering that Jupiter Jim lives in a very kind of non-impressive apartment building that doesn't look anything suspicious from the outside, but he probably has an entire floor all to himself in this totally normal apartment building.
Yeah.
Maybe he blew all of his money on blinky lights on the inside.
Yeah, but I'm still like, what's the deal with Jupiter Jim? Something is weird
I
about
wonder
him.
if I wonder if there was like an actual okay, here's a theory that I just came up with as I was
Okay.
looking at this. What if Jupiter Jim A was an actual hero from space who they brainwashed to think he was an actor, and that's
Mhm.
why he's so loopy? Or B, he actually was an actor that made a bunch of sense, and then he like hit his head or got in an accident or something mystical happened and he lost his mind.
Yeah, both very valid theories.
Or he's just an egotistical actor bastard who just happened to know a yokai called Red Fox for several decades and never questioned it.
Also very valid.
I mean, she doesn't even reach his knees.
Yeah.
So like, he just thought that she was an extremely small person that wore costumes 24/7 and he never saw out of costume. I just think that's a little bit. Maybe she's the reason he lost his mind.
Also, the screenshot. I know that Leo is doing the spin on the chair, but it kind
Hmm.
of looks a little bit like Will Smith present.
Yes. I mean, Donnie spun the chair specifically 2%.
Yeah.
The betrayal that is Leo sitting in the captain's chair.
Yep.
And then we get to see that Jupiter Jim has a system where they all start with 50 points and they lose points and they gain the first to 53 wins. And I was like, how many points is he expecting them to lose?
Yeah.
I know that Leo does call it out, and I personally will lose a space point for asking questions about space points like Leo did.
But I also question, but that's me being very childish. The shape on the buttons on Jupiter Jim's shoulder, like
Talking
over
about
his shoulder.
Oh, you saw the penis. I saw the V. So I'm just saying, I think this is more of a you problem than a general
Oh, it's a
problem.
wee. What?
Yeah, like the yellow is a we, and I was like, yes, okay, it's a we, and you immediately saw the inverse shape. And I'm just like, I'm calling you out.
Yeah, fine.
I took a picture of this because this they definitely did repurpose a lot of the map from Donnie's conspiracy theory map, but they do add a bunch
Pizza
like
Pete
because like it says New York City yo and has a picture of Mikey and like Todd and Teddy Bear Town coupons
and
and like
Foot
stuff that
Dude.
they and Foot Dude and stuff, but they definitely did add like he added a bunch of scorpions and this Shadow Man who we know that is the Scorpio, but maybe it's something different. Also, just a lot of explosions from the bomb factory, and then he also has a Lujitsu that says "worst" on it. How dare he? How dare he?
Yeah, for real.
Also,
And
how can he connect the Shadow Man to Lujitsu? How dare he? And also a picture of Red Fox, and it says, "Is she insane?" on it. She is not the one who is insane.
yeah,
You
no,
are the one who is insane.
projecting much.
Glass houses, my dude. And then we have one of my favorite parts of this episode is when they're supposed to fight, and Leo's wearing that giant mech suit, and Donnie's like, "Ah, yeah, all right," and he has that shit grin face, and then he just calls Leo. And then Leo punches himself with the mech suit. And it's like, oh no. Why did you put your phone in your fanny pack, Leo? That's so cute.
That's also only possible because Donnie actually did not make them smarter.
Imagine if in Mind Meld they would have just stayed smart and the rest of the series would basically have just been four Donnies, and Donnie would have been the stupidest of the brothers and they would have just all been uber smart. It would have been so much not fun.
Yeah.
Also, you could just tell that Leo was extremely excited to get into this mech.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
that's why he
of
chose
course
this
he
mech.
is Jupiter Jim's biggest fan.
That is true. And then we have Raph being sassy. I mean, this is probably Mountain Dew, considering that this soda glows bright green and looks radioactive.
I mean, the
So I'm just
bottles
guessing that
also look very Mountain Dewy.
at this point, Raph has taken off his costume. So does Jupiter Jim just think that? Yeah, I mean, he does think that they're turtle aliens. So Raph is just currently a naked turtle alien to him, I guess.
I'm glad that Raph is enjoying his time.
Yeah. I mean, he's getting a tan from the radioactive vat of soda.
I mean, it
so.
is green, so
Yeah, and it is glowing. So
Mhm.
I'm just saying this is probably Mountain Dew. That stuff is radioactive enough to get you a tan, I suppose.
I love the different reactions of the brothers here. I love how
Mikey looks happy, Leo looks slightly disappointed, and Donnie looks disgusted.
yep.
Here's more good faces, mostly Leo's. Leo has very happy, excited faces throughout this entire episode.
Yep.
He's just very excited. Raph is not very impressed.
Nope. Not yet.
Donnie's, I love Donnie. He's such an asshole all the time. I love him.
Donnie, you would not be a sidekick, you would be an evil henchman.
That is true. That is true. Also, if because Jupiter Jim is like, I'm used to red sidekicks, so I'm choosing Raph. But if also he would have chosen, yes. So I'm not evil, so you can't be my sidekick. And Donnie's like, how could you?
Yeah.
I'm the hero, so I can't have an evil henchman. And Donnie's like, gasp.
Gasp. Oh yeah, that's also a thing that he did in this episode. Gasping. And what was the
Yes.
other thing?
Jaw drop.
Oh, he's so lame, but I love him.
He's so funny.
He's
So
so lame though.
But yeah, the when he chooses, oh no, they're so excited. They're so excited, and then Raph gets chosen, and they're not excited anymore. This is one of my favorite screenshots from this episode. It's gorgeous. There's also just something about the way that the finger digs into Donnie's forehead, because Donnie has a lot of forehead.
He does have a lot of real estate on his forehead.
It makes his face look so soft and squishy.
I love the folds and the wrinkles. And
yeah, I mean,
how petty Raph is.
Mikey's legs are raised. It's like he was gonna sit down, and then Raph just picked him up. And I also love the shocked Velociraptor Leo.
Yeah.
He looks so distressed.
I don't know. He sounds like he looks like he sounds like glass cracking. You know.
Yeah. And then Raph is being so petty here. Mikey is so distraught.
You know, I enjoy that Raph is that we see this side of Raph, because he's always the responsible. Usually, not always. Usually, he is the responsible older brother. But no, we can't just watch him shoving into his brother's faces that he won something.
It's also just so mean, because like he wasn't even trying, and then he wins, and it was like, you didn't even want the job. I didn't until I got it.
That was before I won.
Yeah, right. And then he's also, when he points at Leo here, and Leo still has the same face, and he points with his leg. He points at Leo with his leg, and he says double in your face to Leo. He's just being extra mean to Leo.
Yeah. I mean,
which is fine. We all know that Leo would have done the exact thing, just more obnoxiously, if he would have been chosen as the sidekick.
I mean, yeah, because Leo is Jupiter Jim's biggest fan, and Leo is the one that always goes like, haha, I won.
Yeah, I mean, technically Leo lost here.
Yep.
Very, very hard, because Donnie got a point, Mikey got a point. He lost 3 points.
Yep.
And then Raph is just excited.
He does the dance that he made when with Ghost Bear, I think, was the last time when he made that.
This is Raph being very excited. I love the way that he shakes his hands up and down. It's very good.
So cute. Oh no.
And then they just leave the brothers heartbroken. Leo still has the same exact body language.
I think.
Oh no.
Yeah, but his face changed. But I think for dramatic effect, Donnie's antennae got bigger.
Oh yeah. I mean, that I mentioned that earlier, that Donnie Santana really do like signal his mood the entire episode.
It's great.
It's very good.
Oh, they're
And
so cool.
I hate Raph's little hat.
Yeah.
I do not like it. It's I know that it's probably supposed to mimic the little fin that Jupiter Jim has on his helmet, and it's like a thing Red Fox wears, but it's just so small. It just makes him look like he has the tiniest mohawk in the world. I was like,
But they're so cool though.
Also, this is a golf cart, not
Yeah, I
a
was
car.
about to say that.
I think they stole a golf cart.
What happened to the what was Raph's hero name?
Red Angel of Preventing Harm.
Yeah, what happened to that? Huh?
Well, that's less fun than being a sidekick, according to Raph.
Yeah.
And I also hear when no Mikey needs to be carried. But also, Leo's just like, I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say that Raph is no longer a member of this family.
Another thing that I completely missed because I was so distracted by the visuals.
And then Donnie decides that it's all still a test, and Leo just drops Mikey on the spot. And makes this face. Immediately, he goes from serious and pissed off to excited and derp face.
He has two moods.
See, this is also why I really, really like Leo and Donnie episodes and Leo and Donnie focused. Why I'm still rooting for that one perfect Leo and Donnie episode.
Please, yes, please.
One that I mean, the one where they were hanging out with Sunita and April and like stalking them on their date and stuff like that. That was amazing. I loved that one when they dressed up as little old grannies and all that. Wonderful. 10 out of 10. Loved that episode. But one of these episodes where there's just the two of them getting into crazy shenanigans, I just need that. Just one pure Leo and Donnie getting into trouble episode where this is the energy. This screenshot captures the exact energy I want.
Oh yeah.
Donnie coming up with bullshit ideas and plans, and Leo executing on them with so much like passion because they make him look cool. That's the energy I crave in an episode.
Yeah, I really am hoping and rooting for a episode that mainly is Leo and Donnie. As you said, I also love the Sunita April one, where they were checking on April, but there were still April and Sunita, you know? Even April and Sunita got their own episode.
Yeah. It's because there's a like the fandom calls them disaster twins, and it's so accurate because they don't get along, but they still get along so well.
Yeah.
Also, the reveal that Red Fox is a yokai.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, are you a mutant? No, what's a mutant? Are you a yokai? Yeah, no. It's like, this is just a costume.
Yeah.
Good one.
I love the joke of them revealing that they are mutated turtles because Leo just took off his little fanny pack.
Yeah, well, it's like, it's all right, no judgment here. And then he like takes off his fanny pack. He's like, oh, you're real turtle man?
Nothing changed. But I mean, it is kind of like the magical girl logic where they get a tiara.
Like Superman's glasses.
Or that.
Just dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, also, this joke, I also enjoy this joke because I have a giant soft spot for jokes that can just only happen in a well-established universe and with well-established characters. Because this joke would not work unless you actually knew like the entire thing around it. The fact that this has been their go-to disguise that basically makes them okay for human eyes in like several other episodes when they dress up as turtle aliens. Also the fact that the turtle aliens just look like Leo with a fanny pack and Donnie with the... I want to see the actual can we watch a Jupiter Jim turtle alien movie? I would like to see a poster at least. Can we please? Yeah. Because how accurate is that?
Yeah. But yeah, it really just works also because we've seen this And this is what we said before. This is why there really are no filler episodes in this show.
Yeah, no, because now, like, I also have a couple of things that I want to talk about at the end about this episode
Mm-hmm.
that I have like a thing, a small theory, or at least a couple of questions that I want to throw out that are not exactly but relevant to this episode not being filler.
A
And then
cartoon
we have,
theory.
yes, a cartoon theory. The villain here also, we're introduced to the Scorpion Man. He has socks and sandals.
That was the first thing that I noticed about this character. Literally the first. But it's also because the eye is drawn from the claw to the pink.
He was not wearing this when he fell into the scorpion pit. I paid attention in his flashback where his coworkers were douchebags and threw him into a scorpion pit.
Mm-hmm.
He was not wearing pink sandals and socks, which means that he mutated, and the only piece of clothing he decided he needed was socks and sandals. A true villain.
Yep.
The forced entry here, like, I love how it comes in, because I like text jokes like this.
Yep.
And if the breaking sound was not enough, also you can really tell that this is a real set, like, pit of acid, which he got somewhere. I don't know why and how, because there's actual green highlight on them, and I enjoy the highlight very much. I enjoy highlights.
Also, the first thing I think the scene was the first time I noticed Raph's hat, and I am very impressed by how much it stays on his head.
I mean, it was tied down by ropes, I guess, somehow. Okay, I'm just gonna pull up a notepad here and give Scorpion Man some pointers on villainy, because he's not really doing a good job for his debut, because he was going to blow them up and then dump them in acid. It is much more efficient to just dump them in acid. You don't need to blow them up and drop them with the explosion. The explosion, if the bombs, like, explode and splash the acid all over him, he will get hurt. Also, just in the feeding area where they're keeping the animal food, he just had a wet of acid and some bombs. Does no one feed the animals? Has no one seen this? Did he do this in a day? I'm either impressed or disappointed depending on his answers. So I'll just wait for his reply.
What was his plan? Did he want to blow up the zoo?
No, he wanted to. He didn't want to blow up the zoo. He wanted to take revenge on his douchebag ass coworkers, which I totally get, and also that one camel.
Why the camel?
Because the camel is clearly a douchebag. It spit in Raph's face. Didn't you see? Like, they were questioning the camel. They questioned the lizard. They questioned the camel. The camel spit in their face.
I mean, it was
Clearly a
kind of hard
douchebag.
to miss.
I think the camel had it coming.
Yes, as much as the coworkers.
Yeah, I mean, the coworkers were being actual assholes. Like, like, they were all kind of, like, smiling when he fell into the pit of scorpions, which is a nightmare fuel.
But we're also listening to his side of the story and his version.
That is true. That is true. And he did get conveniently mutated. And they probably all saw him get mutated.
Like meat sweats.
Yeah. Maybe he just accidentally slipped, or someone accidentally bumped him. That is true. We only got his side of the story, so he's just gonna blow everyone up. And also the camel. He's not gonna do any revenge on the scorpions, no, but the camel, though.
I mean, he is now a scorpion kind of himself, so...
That's fair. Can't really blow up his own people.
Mm-hmm.
And Leo's very impressed by the setup. And I like the way he says respect here.
But he also believes that this is not an actual thing at this point.
Yeah, he thinks that this is all a game.
Yep.
And that's very elaborate game. Even the glow from the acid is on him now. It's very strong acid. It's probably radioactive.
Yep.
It's hydrochloric acid, according to the time.
Hydrochloric acid. Now I could do it. Okay.
Hydrochloric acid. This joke was probably my favorite, like, verbal joke, because a lot of this episode is visual comedy with all the funny faces. But this joke here, when he throws down, when he throws down a smoke bomb and doesn't move. And Donnie, just like his voice, the delivery on the line is so gorgeously real and deadpan. It is so raw that you actually just feel like Donnie's a real person talking to another real person. He's like, we can still see you. You have to move before the smoke clears.
Josh Brenner is so good at voicing Donnie. He is the perfect fit.
He was born for this character. Also, the fact that his brothers didn't let him play with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toys when he was a kid, and now this is his elaborate revenge, and now he has an action figure of himself that is also a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, and I'm just guessing he doesn't let his brothers play with it. But like that, the fact that his life has led to this point, it's fate. This is destiny.
It's meant to be. But yeah,
Yes.
this was hilarious. I mean, Donnie, as mentioned before, he did promise us that he is the funny one. And so far, he has kept his promise.
He's spoilered that fact in episode 1. Like, he spoilered that for us. I mean, I still back to episode 1 for a second, still think that one of my favorite Donnie jokes is, "What's wrong with my voice?"
Yeah.
Just thinking about it makes me want to cry.
That's my normal voice. What's wrong with my voice?
Your fake nerd voice is. He's just a nerd. That's just what he is. Oh, it's gorgeous. The reunion is very nice, even though I'm just gonna guess that from now on, Red Fox and Jupiter Jim are gonna go around town harassing cosplayers and stopping mutants.
Maybe he's gonna be part of the musical now. Who knows? Doubt it, though.
Yeah, I doubt it. Also, the fact that Red Fox does not know when they're talking, Red Fox specifically says, "What's a mutant?" Like, she does not know about mutants. So they have not been fighting mutants as long as she has been with him. So this whole fighting mutants thing is definitely a new thing. And I'm just wondering if Jupiter Jim is going to be more of a pain in the ass than he is going to be help.
Just for the voices, because I just saw Red Fox in the last screenshot. Red Fox is voiced by Lauren Lapkus, who apparently voiced, among many other things, April Neal in a 4-minute short that is on Nickelodeon. And Scorpion was voiced by John Cassier, and Jupiter Jim by Phil Lamar.
The second episode in this bomb that we got was the Hidden City job. And on which starts in everyone's favorite pizzeria, the Run of the Mill. We see the Champion Gate right behind Leo. And also, I took this photo because we can see here that Monday through Thursday, it's open 3 p.m. to midnight. Friday to Saturday is 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. And you can pay by the slice. This also means that it's closed on Sundays.
I mean, Sundays is family time, and Senor Eso has a family.
That's I want to meet his kid.
Yeah.
I wonder who his wife is.
Yeah. Same. Or who knows who he's with at this point. But yeah.
His significant other.
Yes.
Or previously significant other. I don't know. Senor Jesus' whole thing. We need like a Jesus spin-off, honestly.
Yeah.
We
need an entire spin-off of a lot of characters at this point. I want to know so many things about all of these characters because this show is great and has given us such a good world with so many fun characters.
Yeah. This is wonderful, but also I hate this. I hate this.
Capitan Piel is a character that is so like I love the concept of them being brothers and one being bones and one being skin and I guess organs? Question mark?
Yeah, they have a sister who is only organs. She just isn't safe for children's television.
I mean, that would be the logic that they have another sibling that is just the organs, and then maybe another sibling that is just the blood vein system.
Yes, this is our sister. Spanish word for organs. And it's just like and a horrifying amorphous mass of organs. And then it's like, yes, and this is our younger sibling, blood. And it's just a jar of blood. It's horrifying. They were one person split into many. I wonder who their parents were. Were they just completely normal humans who had horrifying split babies?
Yeah, but I wanted to say though, I love the concept of them being these different characters, and one being skin and one being bones. I love how creative they are with animating Capitan Piel, because he is always like sloshy and a little bit, he flops down. What's the word? Goopy? No, not really.
Flaccid.
Oof. But yeah, that.
I just do not enjoy the squishy noises
Yeah,
he makes.
but it is a
all
great.
the time.
It is a great because Senor Eso also does always make noises when he moves. So of course his brother does make noises as well.
Yeah, but it's kind of gross and sloshy. I don't know about
It's
you, but my skin does
supposed-
not make sloshy noises.
Yeah, but have you experienced your skin without the bones so far?
I mean, no, not particularly. Not to the extent that he lives
You know
in, I
what the thing
suppose.
is? He just looks greasy.
Yeah, he just has a lot of skin.
Greasy and soft, and it's genius design. Don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, I have nothing against the design itself. It's just the fact that he just makes sloshy noises and his teeth are made out of skin. That's
That
just
is my
disgusting.
biggest problem with him. I do not like his teeth. I can. It's like I can't imagine what it would feel like if he would bite you.
That would just be like someone's pinching you. With like not their nails, but like with their fingers. He's just like
Yeah, just
kind of dull.
put your fingers on your arm and just push. That's what
Oh no,
I feel like.
You're being bitten by the Captain. Oh no. But yeah, I also like that the reason Leo is there is because he called Donnie a selfish egg-headed weirdo. I mean, listen, Leo, you went too far. Donnie's not a weirdo.
Yeah.
That was the last straw.
Yeah.
And it also implies that Donnie is just at home mad at him. Like they're not fighting, like physically fighting. I can imagine that what Leo is going through is that he called Donnie a selfish, egg-headed weirdo, and Donnie just like got actually hurt by that, and is now just ignoring him.
Yeah. I mean that sounds like a thing that Donnie would do.
Yeah, it's like this silent kind of like looking away all the time and like ignoring Leo, and Leo's like, hey Donnie, how about we like do skateboards? And Donnie's just like ignores him completely, because I think that is Leo's worst nightmare, is if his brothers ignore his existence.
Oh yeah.
I definitely do think that like out of everyone, like Raph is too soft and Mikey is too like Mikey is too easily emotional into forgiving people.
Mm-hmm.
And also Mikey's very
Drexen.
passy. Yeah, like Mikey forgives people immediately. But Donnie is definitely the type that can hold a grudge. And I do think that if Leo actually, like, they were fighting and Leo went too far, and I guess maybe the thing that set Donnie off is the selfish part, or maybe the egghead, or maybe he took offense to all three. But
for different reasons though.
Yeah, like he got, if Donnie actually got hurt by what Leo said, then I definitely do think that the number one way to make Leo actually feel bad enough to go out and get Donnie an apology pizza, even though his heart is not 100% into it, because he still calls Donnie out for not liking pineapple and ham together, which, listen, like, I'm not gonna get into the whole pineapple on ham discussion because I personally don't like it. I don't care.
I mean,
The
pineapple and ham, I do not care about. I'm a vegetarian. But pineapple on pizza is great. Just
I'm
saying.
I'm I'm just I'm just putting it down here that if you're getting your brother an apology pizza, you get him his favorite toppings.
Yep.
If he is specifically getting Donnie a pizza to basically force Donnie to talk to him, because if Donnie's giving him the silent treatment and like ignoring him, like Leo says something and he turns around and walks away, which is definitely the number one way to make Leo feel bad about what he did. It's the best way to punish Leo. The best way for Leo to do it is to get Donnie a pizza, bring it over, and be like, "Hey, Donnie, you want some pizza?" And he opens the thing. He's basically forcing Donnie to acknowledge his existence, and then they can patch up because they can actually talk to each other, and like Donnie can forgive him. The thing that Leo's doing is like, "Oh, which pizza says that? I'm sorry for calling you a selfish, egg-headed weirdo," and poor Hueso is just like, "I don't know, Hawaiian." he, and he's like, "Yeah, Donnie's weird though. He doesn't like pineapple and ham. Like, get Donnie his favorite pizza if you want to give him pizza as an apology."
Like that one wiggly worm
Yeah,
pizza that we saw.
they they really enjoyed eating whatever that eat me creature was. They enjoyed that. Just get that. You both like that very much, and that's weird and wiggly and also show it. It would also but the thing is that Leo is such an asshole that he doesn't even consider like, hey, how about I memorize Donnie's favorite toppings? He's like, oh, which toppings are the best for this occasion? That, or he's just trying to make conversation with Hueso because he doesn't want to go home because Donnie's giving him the stink eye.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cute that he's just like, I'm the best at patching up brotherly squabbles. And then Chris is like, aren't you here because you had a fight with your brother? Yeah, and I would have fixed it already with pizza. Hueso's whole deal with his brother is so much more than just calling him names and getting pizza. It's like an entire like rivalry of framing him. Hueso was kicked out of the Mystic City for what I'm just gonna assume is several years, if not decades, and wanted by the police because of his brother. Yay! You know, like Leo didn't do that exactly, so it's not the same level, but Leo still thinks he can fix it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's very confident.
Yeah, I definitely do think that Leo thinks that it's easier to get into a mess and talk his way out of it than it is to just be nice and prevent the mess to begin with.
Yep.
What one is more fun to animate, so definitely I'm all with him there. The Yeah, here also we get to see the restaurant. Everyone ran out of the restaurant, which is just terrible for business.
I had noticed that.
Yeah,
Either
you can
either
actually
either that or they put something like a different background in. Just didn't
no,
put
no, no.
characters in, but
You actually saw all the background characters run for their
okay.
lives when Capitan Piel came came to town and they started fighting with ladles and such.
Oh yeah.
They all ran. Also, there's such nice mushrooms on the wall. Nice lights.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I love the aesthetics of Run of the Mill.
Yeah, I am also very much into enormous glowy mushrooms. And here we go. They go to when they go to the Mystic City and they see these simurgs, which are probably you know better than I, very chocobo-y.
Yeah, they are very chocobo-y, even though chocobos can fly.
Yeah, but you know, like this, these are also luxury simurg, which they can't afford. And I'm just like, are these very expensive birds? Because there was a free one just kind of walking around,
What are all
even
these
though
cat creatures?
yeah, there's like a lot. Also, I wonder if these two characters on that one simurg are referenced to something.
Huh.
Because I can't. Yeah, there's very many cool cat creatures in the background, but I can't help but like feel like these two characters are extremely specific, and I wonder if we've ever seen them before or if they're a reference to something.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure about these two characters, but I'm just intrigued by the cat characters because there are a lot of them.
Yeah, there's a bunch of cats in this episode.
Yeah.
There's also one that like checks their invitation,
Mm-hmm.
which is interesting.
Yeah. Oh yeah, cool, glowy mushroom trees.
Yes.
Really
And
great
also here we
aesthetics.
get to see PL's teeth and tongue or skin. I don't
Yeah.
like it. I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't
I
like Piehl's. I mean, I like his design because he always reminds me of LeJuck from Monkey Island. I don't know why, probably because he's a pirate.
all pirates are from Monkey Island.
But yeah, oh, I don't like the teeth.
hmm I really do enjoy Hueso though. He's great. He's definitely I'm just gonna toss him in my pile of skeleton husbands. Like I enjoy him a lot. He's like I have a giant, ironically soft spot for skeletons.
What if you do a skeleton tier list?
Oh yeah. I mean, if anyone wants to, I'll make a skeleton tier list.
I
I
don't
just don't think anyone wants me to.
I don't like. Does this mean that Capitan Piel is naked?
Yes.
I don't like that.
I think the belt is to like nicely cinch his waist because he'd just be an amorphous like blob mess. But yeah, he's definitely naked. He's not wearing pants. He's wearing belt, shoes, a cape, a hat. I also enjoy that he has so many different attachments for his little hook hand.
Oh yeah.
Like this, it's a flute here, it's
Oh
glasses
yeah.
later. Like it's just he has like different attachments for his hand. I wonder if he can like shape them, but it just looks like he swaps them out for the occasion. I also
So
enjoy that
it's dancing, but what? How did he say?
the childlike joy will not be in it. Yeah, because apparently the best way to tame a wild simurg is apparently to do music and then dance with childish glee.
And then he does the death drop.
The drop, a gorgeous death drop,
And
and the bird and Leo are both very impressed. Is this courtship? Like, were they courting the bird?
I don't want to think about that. This episode is too wild for my taste. Either way.
And here's a bunch of cool background art.
I love
as
the
always.
hidden city. I love it so much. I love the the kind of Indian Ganesha looking elephant thing. What is this? The snake wrapping around that pillar? I want to know.
It looks like if you see down, there's like a head. It looks like one of those like long dragons.
Mm-hmm. I just love the aesthetics of the hidden city. I want to know so much about a hidden city, and as I said, I want an entire season just about the hidden city.
It's really good, and I also like all the like usage of light and stuff. It really does feel like a big city.
Mm-hmm.
It feels enormous.
Yep.
But yeah, they're in this Joey pouch, and it's so gross. But Leo likes it so much.
I actually commented on that on Twitter, and I said, I guess Teetles like to be in slimy enclosed spaces because it reminds me of the egg womb.
Mm-hmm.
Was my assumption, and Russ Carney, who was one of the writers, along with Ron Cosillo of this episode, said that Dale Malinowski pitched the Joey Pouch idea, and they all loved it instantly. It just seemed like something that once you were inside it, it just felt good. The warmth, the heartbeat, the humidity, even OCD Donnie, yeah, spoilers for a later moment, but you all saw the episode. Even OCD Donnie felt great. Did you ever see those weighted blankets that comfort some folks? And I actually really want a weighted blanket. I just really would like to experience what it's like. Because people say that, or I heard that it's very comforting.
Yeah. It's like a hug for your entire body by a very flat person.
You make it sound weird.
No, I'm making it sound very sensible. Also, if Captain Pierre would take off his belt, he'd just basically be a giant blanket. Just saying. I ruined weighted blankets for everyone. But here we go. He has like a different attachment that's glasses here in this thing. He has so many. He's so fashionable.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that Leo is slimy when he comes out of the Joey pouch.
I don't like that either.
Yeah, it's a little bit weird.
That's not the only weird thing about this episode.
Then we get this, and this is one of the like big reasons why this episode is very important.
Shadow Fiend.
Yes, the Shadow Fiend. There's a new top dog in the Battle Nexus, and it's this person.
I'm leaning into the microphone. It's the Shredder.
I hope not. I hope that we get Shredder and this thing to fight.
Could be Shredder though.
Yeah, I mean, definitely could be Shredder. It does have the pink highlights which Shredder had.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, if this is Shredder, then, you know, good job, I guess. That might be one of the reasons why the face is hidden.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's spikes.
But, yeah, there are spikes. That might actually be. I've been rooting for a Battle Nexus episode since the Battle Nexus was introduced. So them fighting Shredder in the Battle Nexus with a bunch of cheering yokai around would be a tight.
Yep.
I want them to be in the fantabulous Battle Nexus whiz bang.
Which is also what I think Big Mama stole Meat Sweats for.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to the fantabulous Battle Nexus whiz bang.
Oh yeah, that's probably gonna be the season finale. I assume. Or the middle point. Could be middle point or the finale.
If it's the middle point, then it should be in like a couple of episodes. Excitement!
I mean, this is episode 5.
Yeah.
We will have 20-something episodes clean.
Yeah, I'm saying it's coming up. We already got like 6. So the fantabulous she's holding an auction, and this is a funny thing for me. She's holding an auction for her favorite charity, which is her, and the fantabulous Battle Nexus Wish Bang. And each time an item is sold, she drops it into the vault, which means that what's happening here is literally that she has all these wealthy yokai. She brings up some of her own stuff. People bid on it, and then she keeps it and takes their money.
Yeah, because the thing can't be opened, right?
No, yeah, because the vault is only for her. I mean, it can't be opened. It's the vault in her office, because we see when Leo and Hueso escape the thing, like they're basically running outside, so it can be opened, but it's like an impenetrable vault, which is why they must get the Banshee box before it's sold, and they start with 38, which is great, but it doesn't make any sense. Like, she was just in a real hurry to get that one out, I guess. But the fact is, like, she brings this thing out, she sells it, and then she keeps it, and she takes the money. So it's like a charity auction, except no one gets anything and they only give her money. See, this is why she's the queen.
Yeah.
Also, this is why she's so powerful. She gets people to bid on things that she owns and will keep, but she takes the money anyway, because she's basically getting money to have this Battle Nexus Wish Bang, which she is advertising by doing this, and she's also going to sell tickets to it, and she's also stealing people for it. So she's not spending any real money on it, but she's only getting money. She's a very good businesswoman.
Also, the thing that I assumed in the previous podcast episode about Big Mama being like in the surface and not in the Mystic City is out of the window with this, because she literally is in the Mystic City here and holding an auction, and apparently
she's just the queen of everything.
Sometimes, yeah, she is a queen. And also, let me call out the goons, the guards that she has around herself again, which is only a thing since the beginning of the season. She didn't have those before she had
She just had cute little bellhops that were like squids. I guess she just murdered all of them by making them fight in the Battle Nexus, and that's why she just had to rehire, and she just decided to brand real good this time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that Leo's little disguise to be a very wealthy yokai is that he gets a little bow tie.
I love this bow tie.
Hueso just puts on a monocle, and his brother just has the opera glasses. Not suspicious. He's made out of skin. Also, his belt is sagging. He needs to pull up his belt. But yeah, they have a plan.
You know why it's so weird to me? It is like when an old person takes out their fake teeth and then decides to bite you.
When have you ever been bitten by an old person that takes out their teeth?
Never, but just imagine. That's what it would be like.
I mean, it would probably be slimier, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
I've never been bitten by a person who took out their dentures before.
Or by a child, like when a child gnaws on something, doesn't have teeth yet, something like that. Either way, it's gross. And I like the concept. I do not like the thought of the meat teeth.
Gross, soggy meat teeth. How does he chew anything? Poor thing.
It doesn't.
That's why he's salty, because his brother makes pizzas and he can't eat any of them because he has to like eat them like Donnie eats a sandwich, just down the gullet, completely whole, like a seagull.
Pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, listeners. Pretty sure this is Andy Soriano and his family.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, that is, considering that it's supposed to be Andy Soriano who's always sitting on the toilet when they come out of the toilet, right?
Yeah.
This is definitely him.
Yep.
So, and this is item 2. They started with 38, then they went to 1, and then they went to 2, until Hueso was just like, ah yes, item 1.5, the turtle Adonis.
Oh, Leo.
I mean, this is clearly for comedy reasons, but I like to imagine that
a lot of this episode is literally for comedy reasons. There are so many things in this episode that do not make sense, that are literally only put in for comedy reasons, and I appreciate that.
But in universe, I like to imagine that 2 doors down, there's just a giant vat of golden body paint and togas. And Leo noticed on the way there, and he was like, I'd like to have fun with that later. And then he leaves. Like, just saying, in universe, that would be funny.
Yep.
But yeah, then Big Mama just really likes it as she wants it. And I enjoy Big Mama and her love of everything slightly manly.
Yeah.
How do I phrase it nicely?
How you mean, how do you phrase it without making it, in this case, sound creepy because it's Leo, and without saying it very bluntly?
Yeah, she is a avid fan of the male form.
Yep.
Managed to make it all classy.
I clap.
But yeah, she wanted it for her personal collection, which probably implies that she just has like a bunch of handsome statue men standing around, which I enjoy. And when they get dropped down, I also like that Leo keeps the body paint and toga on for almost the entire rest of the episode.
Yeah. I mean, there's no way how to get changed, even though he probably just would have to pull off the toga.
Yeah, if you magically post off the toga and then the golden body paint just goes like, it was me all along.
A Roman god.
Turtley boo! Gasp! And then, yeah, they're looking at, there's like a bunch of creepy treasure all over the place here. Like that one thing in the background looks like a robot. I enjoy all the treasure that she has, that she's just keeping for herself and not sharing with everyone, but she is making people pay for the privilege of looking at it for a minute.
Yep.
You can see more of her vault, and I'm just assuming that the giant spider webs are just her webs, and she just managed to, like, she just decided to put them there for atmosphere because she's a spider woman.
There's a giant sword there on the left, or whatever.
Yeah, that's also a thing that I'm wondering. Like, there look like there are 2 giant swords there. So it just looks like 2 enormous swords and creepy pillars. Yeah, I just like looking at all this treasure. It's nice storytelling.
Oh yeah.
Like atmospheric. Also, somehow they managed to make Leo stand out, even though there's so much gold and so much yellow in all of this. They still managed to make him stand out.
You know why? Because he's a little more saturated than the background. The background is a little desaturated.
They still make him glisten, though.
Mm-hmm.
Which is good.
He is gold, right?
Yes. It's like, he's almost monotone, but not completely.
Yeah. I mean, here he is a little more, because of the lighting conditions changed. He's a little desaturated, but he's still shiny.
Also because he's kind of doing the background joke where he's like, I enjoy that you called me clever, and then he leaves. And you do make a great point about how clever I am. It's just like, Leo, you haven't really done anything in this episode.
He dressed up.
That is true. That is true. He did dress up and dip himself in gold and pretend to be a statue long enough to be dropped into a vault, and then
Wasn't
he
that
opened a banshee book. He was no
wait,
help.
wasn't that like in a James Bond movie or whatever? I could be completely wrong. But I faintly remember in an old movie there was basically the reason for death of someone was that they were covered completely in gold.
That would kill a man. Gold is very, very warm when it's boiling and liquid.
Yeah, it was not boiling in liquid. Someone was just painted in pure gold. Then they died.
Gold poisoning. I thought you meant that someone was dipped into
No.
liquid gold and pulled out. I was like, oh yeah, that's really warm.
I just had a flashback to when I was a kid, and because my parents always watched James Bond movies, especially my mom, and I faintly remember seeing something like that. That there was a lady that was completely painted with gold. I don't know if she was dipped in gold, but she was painted in gold, and then she died because her body couldn't breathe anymore or whatever.
Are you sure you're not remembering the Aladdin sequel where his dad
No.
has an enemy that turns people into gold
No.
with the hand of Midas?
I'm pretty sure it was a James Bond thing. Maybe Goldfinger?
I mean, Aladdin and James Bond have some things in common, I guess.
Okay, we're getting completely off topic here. Back to the episode.
Alright, well, this is an extremely unusable item. It's gorgeous. Why would you need a jewel-encrusted pizza cutter?
It is pretty. Maybe it's
I mean,
magic jewels. Maybe it makes
Also-
the perfect pizza slices.
He managed to start an entire business without this thing.
But maybe he will perfectionize it now.
Oh, yeah, I guess. I'm just hoping that he'll never let Mikey touch it.
Oh yeah, please.
The fact that Capitan Pierre actually stole this thing because he was jealous because their dad never gave him anything nice. And then it's like, oh, daddy gave you your first ship. And it's like, well, that was after the pizza cutter. And I was already scum at that point. Oh, yeah, I guess.
Yeah. It's a cute little insight in how the family was or worked. It's just a cute little lore and personality building, like character building.
I would actually love an episode where we get at least like a flashback of Hueso's parents, because I'm curious to know if they were also skin and bones or if they were just like a person.
I mean, let's just make an episode about the entire family. Because we also want to see the kid.
That is true. I
What's
would
the
like
kid's
them to
name
go
again?
pick up the kids at the grandparents.
What was the kid's name again?
Hueso Jr., I think.
Yeah.
And then we have the reveal that the reason why his flag is a normal pirate flag is because he did it in Hueso's, like, for Hueso, because he loves him. It's like, aww. It's also kind of terrifying. I would not want my sibling to be a criminal, like, lord and use my face as their flag. That would, like, I'd be quite upset.
No wonder that Hueso was searched by the police.
That he was a wanted man. Everyone thought that he was the leader because his face was on the flag. The whole like thing where he turns into a parachute is creepy, but also
now I'm thinking of weighted blankets again. Man, it sucks.
Now you don't have to waste your money on weighted blankets, I guess.
I still want one.
Yeah, just don't get a pink one.
Yeah,
make
no.
slushy noises.
No. Oh my god.
But yeah, Leo tries to like blow wind up into PL's body, and this would probably disturb me more if I hadn't seen this in anime.
Yeah.
One Piece does this, so yeah. But
I mean,
this is still
funny. It is a great. It's a fun utilization of a character's abilities. It's funny.
Anyway, like he turns into parachute, and then the brothers combine as skin and bones and become this extremely handsome man.
Quoting Leo, "You're so handsome." No, wow, you guys are handsome.
I appreciate the plural.
Yeah. This entire scene made me literally feel like the moment when Todd turned into a Super Saiyajin. This is what I
Yeah.
mean with this episode, that they did things that don't make a lot of sense just for the comedy of it. Because
I think it makes perfect sense. His brother opened his mouth real big and he jumped inside of him and wore him as a flesh suit. What is there not to make sense?
do not stare directly at Don Suave.
Don Suarez. Gorgeous. He's very, very gorgeous. And then Leo looks away because he doesn't want to be captivated by
Yeah,
him.
he shields his eyes.
And then he just like says, I didn't even look up what the words he says are.
I have a part of the script because Ross Carney shared it on Twitter in front of me, but I am not sure if this is all still in the thing. What exactly was are you referring?
Because when everyone's attacking him here, he basically just like says like sexy words and looks over like the corner of his mouth, and like Big Mama faints and like their heads explode and stuff when he just says like one word. Like I don't remember any of them, and I don't want to butcher the language that bad, but he like says phrases or words, and they just kept it. I just have a feeling that they aren't really that sexy. I just have a feeling that he could literally be saying, because I, a pleb, do not speak this language. So he could just he could be saying washcloth, and I would be like, ah, yes, this sounds sexy. It makes perfect sense to me.
Like the things that are on t-shirts in Chinese.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ross Carney shared on Twitter that from the script that Don Suave or Don Suave is based on an actor called, full name, Ricardo Gonzalo Pedro Montalban y Merino.
So that's a name.
And yeah, was a prominent actor in American television and film, born in Mexico. And yeah, apparently he was very famous. He did a lot of movies. Like his filmography is very long, starting in 1941 up until 2010. Yeah. And
wow.
especially later in the later times, he also voiced in cartoons, for example. The first thing I see here is Dora the Explorer. I'm sorry.
Amazing.
Oh, and Kim Possible. He apparently voices someone. I never watched Kim Possible, shame on me. But he voices someone, Senor.
Ah, Senor. Yes, I know who that is.
Yeah.
What a good job. He did a great job.
Montalban voiced that once, and yeah. That's all I have to say about that. And it is an absurd scene. I was just staring at it. He just tears off and shows his abs.
I understand what he's saying here. It's like machismo, and then he tears his shirt open. I'm just like, ah, yes, the ultimate move.
Yeah.
And also the scene where he jumps into the air and then into his brother's stomach, and you can like see X-ray vision of his bones like fitting into the skin. As horrifically creepy and morbid and fascinating that is, it's also just like so it feels a little bit like a mecha assembling.
I remember when it happened, you were screaming. This is what I feared. You said this is what I feared.
Yes. This is I did scream that, didn't I? Yeah. Yeah, I remember screaming that. You're right.
I was slightly covering my eyes, going like, no. Because the way how PL just opens his mouth real wide is creepy, okay?
Yeah, and then his brother just straight up jumps into his mouth and wears him.
Is this war?
Yeah, no, I don't think this is war. Does
it mean that PL is hollow?
Yeah, that definitely does mean that PL. I mean, he can't be solid skin all the way through. Then there would be so much extra skin on Don Soiree that you can't. Like he would still be
a giant pouch with the mouth as an opening.
Yes.
I hate him more.
personally think that he should make the most out of this and cinch the waist a little bit
I'm
more if
getting
he's hollow.
goosebumps. I'm legit having goosebumps because I'm just a little bit grossed out right now.
This entire scene was absurd, and I do not comprehend how it must have been a wild ride to storyboard this thing. Are you okay?
No, I'm not. I mean, I love the comedy of this because it is legit. This character is supposed to be so handsome and so attractive to everyone that even the goons are just their heads are exploding because he's so sexy. And
Yeah, I mean, like he managed to catch Big Mama immediately. We know her weakness now.
yeah, I mean that for sure is a weakness.
Yeah, I also enjoy that Leo is just bowing.
Yeah, I mean, this is what Leo wishes he would be.
Yeah, honestly, this is Leo. Like, this is Leo's goals for sure.
Yeah.
Like, every day he wakes up and wishes he could be so attractive that he could literally slay an entire group of villains by winking and tearing off his clothes.
Yep.
Like, this is his goals.
Yeah, this is why he just goes like prayer emoji.
Yes, this teach me your ways.
Yeah.
And then he gets bridal style carried away as they go on a beautiful simurg away from the auction house.
Because F gender roles, dudes can also be carried away bridal style. Yeah.
I also enjoy how the auction house comes down from the ceiling.
Oh yeah.
But it also kind of looks like it's being completely held in place by all the spider webs. You can see there are so many spider webs all over, like at the bottom of this thing, holding the bridge in place. There's so many spider webs.
But it is also
Big Mama is
floating
OP.
over the city. You can see buildings at the bottom.
Yeah, I would not want to live right underneath that thing. That looks terrifying.
Yep.
But yeah, it's gorgeous, and then they go back, and it's pizza time, and Leo gets one free pizza for his efforts to reconcile the brotherly rivalry, and all of their problems that they've had have been swept aside by Leo being really good at solving brotherly disputes, even though he basically did nothing. But it did help, so he gets free pizza, but it has pineapple and ham.
He legit did nothing.
Yeah, he didn't really do anything. He was in the way most of the time. He got them into the vault. That's basically all he did.
He was moral support.
Also, he kind of forced Hueso to go on this journey, so I guess he does get credit. So he does definitely deserve that pizza.
Also, Hueso's son now has his uncle.
Yes, that's nice.
That's very cute.
I can't wait for the episode where he loses Hueso's son and begs Leo and the others for help to find the kid because he lost him in the Mystic City. And then we get an enormously good episode where all the boys try to find the little skeleton boy.
That would be great.
You can keep that idea free of charge. You don't even have to credit me.
Yeah.
And then he shares it with Donnie inside the Joey pouch. And I don't know how I feel about this scene. I mean, they definitely do look happy, and Donnie says that it's nice, like a tropical retreat. Donnie just really wants to go back to Tahiti.
Yep.
Yeah.
And here I want to bring in the thing that I mentioned earlier, where we were talking about the brotherly relationship between Donnie and Leo. Again, quoting a tweet by Ross Carney, where he said, "I will also say that in keeping with the brotherhood forward aspect of Rise, even if Donnie and Leo have a silly rivalry, the fact that Leo would know that Donnie would love the pouch means that he really, really cares for Donnie, minus the pizza."
Yes. I mean, that's perfect, and I love that.
Yeah.
I also want to say that there was one thing, and here we get into my cartoon theory aspect of this. So, it's not really a theory as more of an observation, but in these two episodes, we do definitely get a little bit of a theme. And at the start of Donnie says something very specific in the Jupiter Gym episode when they're doing the third trial and fighting the robot henchman. And Leo is running, and then Donnie basically slams Leo down, says, "Just preparing you for the eventual betrayal." And then he keeps running. And in this one, there's a lot of like, you have to forgive your brother, even if he's like bad and does something, which I do not appreciate. Like, I don't agree with Leo. Leo and Mikey both have this issue with the fact that Leo's just like, yeah, like he's your brother. You have to immediately forgive him for everything he did wrong and give him as many chances. If your brother says get in a Joey pouch, you get in a Joey pouch. Like, he's all in for forgiving. And Mikey did this too with Draxum, where Mikey was just like, oh, Draxum like created us. Dursley, he deserves all of the chances. And like, I get it. It's cute and in character for them as like naive teenage boys that have like are heroes and were raised by a hero and believe in like the very goodness of everyone and like love and how like relationships and the happiness saves the day and everything. But I do not agree with the whole he created you, he deserves all the chances, like, and like your brother is an asshole, but you forgive him anyway. Like, just because they're family, even though Draxum technically just became family in a recent episode, they don't really deserve all of. They have to earn the chances. And what I'm just saying is that if we get my dream, where Donnie basically turns evil for a couple of episodes, and because they have kind of been talking about like, yeah, we can replace him with Donnie. Oh, we can kick out Donnie. Oh, are we going to talk to Donnie about how we're kicking him out? And then Donnie talks about the eventual betrayal in the Jupiter gym, even though he's probably referring to movies. And then we have here like this brotherly issue that Leo has here and solves between Hueso and his brother. I'm just saying, if we do get a Donnie turns evil, and the brothers basically have to convince him to come back to the light side, this would be wonderful build-up for that.
He is purple, and a lot
That is
of
true,
the
and
villains
purple
are
is clearly
purple.
the evil color.
Just saying, a lot of villains have purple on them.
Yeah, and Donnie did like Draxum's lair, like his lab a lot. I'd love to do my lab in this style,
Yeah.
even though it was clearly evil in episode 1. Just saying, I love Donnie. Donnie is my favorite. I adore him. He's the funniest. I'm just saying, if he would get sick of his brother's bullshit and turn evil for an episode, that would actually be very nice. Because I would enjoy to see the brothers kind of have to forcibly like get on the same side and kind of like put effort into the relationship. I mean, they always do, but you know, like there being like a slightly larger rift than pizza toppings between them, you know?
Yeah.
And I mean, Donnie is an asshole a lot of the time. He's tried to, like in Mind Melt, he turned his brothers into like super geniuses because he got sick of them being stupid. He does have some evil, or like not evil, questionable tendencies. And I don't know, he also does
have
get
money from questionable sources.
Yeah, and he does definitely have the evil genius vibe, which is one of the reasons why he's my favorite.
Evil laugh.
Yes, evil laugh. Like, he is so funny. He would also be the funniest villain. I'm just saying, if they're planning to do a Donnie turns evil temporarily like episode or like mini arc or something, like even if he just gets charmed over to the dark side by Big Mama or someone, just going like, yeah, aren't you sick of your brothers never listening to you, never following your plans, bullying you all the time? You never get to be the main lead. You're always as like a mummy when you reenact movies. Like, they pick on you a lot, call you a selfish, egg-headed weirdo, you know, stuff like that. Wouldn't it be nice to just kind of kick their asses and just be evil and get some of that evil out? And then Donnie, of course, would be like, but they're my brothers and I love them and I don't want to actually hurt them. This was fun until it got serious. Much like it did in the Purple game, where he was basically destroying the entire city in a giant robot and beating up his brothers. And even as the little bear said, "We're your brothers, stop playing the game," he still kind of kept beating on them, saying that the writing was excellent.
Yeah.
Just, that's my... that concludes my cartoon theory.
It's a good theory. I wouldn't try that.
I actually just, you know, like, you guys can keep it free of charge. You can take it. not, you don't even have to credit me. I just want to see it. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the Hidden City job.
And the first 2 episodes of this small bomb that dropped last Friday. We are gonna review the next 2 episodes in the next podcast, as we usually do, to short episodes per podcast.
These 2 episodes were excellent, and I did enjoy them. They also had like a little brotherly redemption theme going on, and these definitely are important episodes. Mostly because now we know that Red Fox is a yokai, and we know that
Pierre got his redemption, basically. But yeah, I think that concludes this episode of this podcast. Great episodes. Loved them. Stared at the screen, mouth open with disbelief as the entire thing happened. I loved Sidekick Ahoy, and I loved the Hidden City job as well. But the Hidden City job was so absurd in so many like things. But you just accept them because they're funny.
Yeah, I mean, it also had a lot of Leo, which is good. Leo is slowly learning more about himself.
Yeah.
Via the fact that he hangs out with Hueso a lot. As creepy as I do think Jupiter Jim is as a character, I do enjoy his wacky shenanigans. I'm just curious to know if he's going to be a more recurring character, and I'm also curious to see if he's ever going to meet up with Splinter.
Yeah, that would be interesting. But I think Leo is so far the one that has most solo episodes, right?
Yes. Yeah, I definitely do think that he definitely has the most duo and solo episodes. Like out of everyone, I don't think Raph did not have a solo episode.
No, I don't think any of them really had a solo episode.
No, I mean it's only Leo.
I mean this episode specifically at the end, Donnie shortly showed up, and in the other, I forgot the titles because I'm too tired right now.
Portal Jacked.
Yeah, and Portal Jacked. There were his brothers shortly, but
at the beginning, just like at the very beginning and very end.
Yeah, but really, I don't think any of the other characters has solo episodes. I mean, Mikey has the one where he meets Recruit.
Yeah, and Donnie had a very it was a close episode for Donnie in the Purple Jacket because he mostly hung out with April.
Yeah, that's true.
But even in that one, Leo did show up in the middle of the night in his pajamas to sip whatever at Donnie in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Mikey kind of had the one with the Foot Recruit. Donnie had Purple Jacket. Did Raph have a solo episode? Like a solo episode?
Not really.
Well, technically in Sparring Partner, it was very Raph-centric.
Yeah.
But his brothers were a bigger role, but it was very Raph-centric.
Yeah. Well, but his brothers were still there a lot. So either way, the only Turtle Boy that so far has an actual solo episode, Leo.
If we're going by the thing that he's slowly learning how to become the leader, that's just a part of his arc.
Yeah.
Also, someone needs to know about the Battle Nexus whiz bang. Now Leo actually knows about it. He can bring it up in a future episode when there's like, oh, what's the Battle Nexus whiz bang? And it's like, oh yeah, I saw it when I was in the Mystic City and I was being auctioned off as a gold statue to Big Mama. And it's like, what? It's like, yeah, the whiz bang.
Okay, but before we end of this episode, if you don't have anything to add to this.
No, I think I'm all done.
Okay. There's one thing I just want to read out, because on the last episode we got a very interesting comment by YouTube user Mikey the Bean. They said, I made a realization. In every iteration so far, the Turtles have had their individualized flaws, and throughout the seasons, they carry multiple character arcs to finalize their true quirks. However, what's really interesting and unique about this series is that the Turtles have backwards arcs. What I mean is, compared to each of their counterparts, they're the opposite. For instance, previously Leo doubted himself too much, but here he doesn't doubt himself enough. Donnie usually lacks self-esteem, whereas here he's a bit cold-hearted. Raph is known for aggression and angst, though now he holds back his toughness almost to an unhealthy point. In this series, the boys go backwards in their development to reach their peak. It's very clever and new. People really gotta give the show a chance and see what that change isn't that bad. Which is, I think, a very interesting observation and very true. I mean, I cannot really participate in the conversation about the previous iterations because I never really watched them. But I do know the stereotypes at this point. I've been a Rise fan for over a year now. And
also, you've just been exposed to internet.
yeah.
Turtles have been a thing on the internet for a long time.
Yeah, it really just takes a bit of research to kind of get a feeling for the portrayal, the previous portrayal of the characters. And yeah, it is true, especially with Leo. And in previous iterations, he doubted himself, and now he's just like, yeah, I can do this.
I can do everything. Everyone just needs to trust me.
Maybe for Mikey, it's like before he had too much chill and now he has no chill.
Yeah, that could actually be Dr. Delicate Touch. It needs to be phased out for him to fit into the future canons.
But yeah.
Yeah, that's it for this episode of the podcast. We'll talk about the next 2 episodes next time.
One last thing. I got asks on Tumblr and questions about the fan art section. We will eventually go back to fan art. I already explained on Tumblr, I just always feel a little bit silly and a bit pushy when I continuously am like, oh, here is the link to post fan art to, because I want you guys to do this voluntarily, of course. I don't want to push this onto you to post this. So we're going to collect fan art until there is enough to show off by enough people. And then we will bring the fan art back and just do fan art every couple of episodes. It really depends on how many and how much you guys post. I will put the link into the description of this video so you can post fan art again. And as soon as we have enough, we will show it off. Maybe next episode, maybe the one after that. But definitely soon.
Get the hint, artists. Get cracking.
Okay, but that's it for this podcast. It's been a long one. I can already feel that. But that's fine because very good episodes, a lot to talk about, and hope you guys had fun. If you like this episode, then just do the like and subscribe thing for YouTube. And there was something else. We have Twitter. It's turtles_rising. You can follow us there for updates and just retweets and stuff like that. And yeah, that's basically it. So see you guys next podcast.
See you next podcast, guys.